Kevin Webster became embroiled in a dramatic gun incident during Tuesday's episode of Coronation Street. The garage owner has been a familiar face on the cobbles since 1983 and has featured in countless major storylines over the years, many involving his former wife Sally and their daughters Rosie and Sophie. The past year has been especially turbulent for Kevin. Alongside receiving a diagnosis of testicular cancer, he also discovered that his estranged wife Abby had been involved in a secret relationship with Carl Webster, a man he had always believed was his brother. Earlier this year, a major family revelation changed everything when Debbie disclosed that she was actually Carl's biological mother. Adding to the chaos, Carl was recently hurt while working at the garage after a vehicle fell on him when Tyrone accidentally caused it to collapse. In an attempt to avoid blame, Carl later misled the police about where he had been that evening, resulting in innocent Summer Spellman being sent to prison over Theo Silverton's murder. Tensions finally erupted in the latest installment of the long-running soap when Kevin and Carl confronted each other at the garage, while Ronnie Bailey and Tyrone watched in shock. A firearm obtained from shady car dealer Fiona Morley lay on the floor between them after Kevin had attempted to strike Carl with a wrench. Carl challenged Kevin, saying they either needed to resolve their issues or he should pick up the gun. Believing the weapon was fake, Kevin grabbed it, and a fierce struggle followed as Carl urged him to pull the trigger. Moments later, a shot rang out, revealing that Kevin had fired the weapon. Tyrone stepped in and managed to calm Kevin down. When Kevin realized Carl had not been hit, he immediately apologized. Later, Carl visited Kevin at number 13 and reflected on the day's events. He admitted accepting work from Fiona had been a mistake and regretted pulling the gun on him. The pair acknowledged the mess they had created and discussed whether they could finally move on. Kevin admitted they would never be close friends, but agreed they could move forward if Carl genuinely intended to do right by Debbie. However, he still wanted answers about Carl's affair with Abby. Carl confessed that selfishness, jealousy, and his own destructive behavior had driven his actions. He admitted he had badly hurt both Kevin and Abby, expressed deep regret for everything that had happened, and insisted he wanted to become a better person. The conversation appeared to mark a turning point as the two men finally put aside their differences and shook hands. By the end of the episode, Ronnie and Debbie had learned about the entire ordeal. Although Ronnie insisted the gun had been returned, Fiona claimed she never received it, meaning the weapon had disappeared. A frustrated Debbie warned Ronnie and Carl that not only did they have dangerous people potentially looking for them, but there was now a loaded gun somewhere on the streets. She demanded they find it immediately or face her wrath instead of Fiona's. What the family does not yet realize is that the missing firearm has already been discovered by Jodie Ramsey, Shona's mysterious long-lost sister, who secretly took possession of it. Sarah Platt finds herself under increasing pressure in Coronation Street as questions mount over her connection to Gary Windass and the secret they appear to be hiding. It seems that Theo Silverton's murder has created an unexpected bond between Sarah and Gary. Both have been part of Todd Grimshaw's support network in the aftermath of the tragedy, yet their unusual behavior and growing closeness have not gone unnoticed. Sarah's partner, Kit Green, remains completely unaware of any possible romantic involvement between the pair. However, while he trusts Sarah, he is convinced Gary may hold vital answers about Theo's death and is determined to prove that the builder was involved in the attack that killed him. Maria Connor, on the other hand, has reached her own conclusion. She is certain that Gary and Sarah are having an affair, and despite attempts by friends to reassure her, she refuses to believe otherwise. During a recent visit to the Rovers, Maria shared her suspicions with Todd after several glasses of wine, leaving him deeply unsettled. Concerned about his close friend, Todd became determined to uncover the truth for himself. The secretive conversations between Sarah and Gary continued, but their efforts to keep whatever they are hiding under wraps are becoming increasingly difficult. more residents are starting to notice their behavior and question what is really going on. While suspicion spreads elsewhere, Kit is focused on a very different plan. He has decided he wants to propose to Sarah and is preparing to seek approval from the children who are part of their blended family. His first stop is Bethany Platt, who enjoys teasing him before ultimately giving her enthusiastic support. She even suggests they begin looking at engagement rings together. However, while Kit is making plans for the future, Todd finally confronts Sarah about the rumors surrounding her and Gary. Before he can get any real answers, Sarah suddenly breaks down in tears, leaving him more concerned than suspicious. Although she neither confirms nor denies an affair, Sarah admits that while she has made reckless and even dangerous choices in the past, the situation she is currently facing is far more serious than anything she has experienced before. Believing her worries are connected to Gary, Todd encourages Sarah to follow her heart if she truly wants happiness. At the same time, he insists that honesty is essential and that both Kit and Maria deserve to know the truth. Elsewhere, Kit spends time with Harry, helping him rehearse for an upcoming production of The Wizard of Oz. During a heartfelt conversation, Harry admits he enjoys having Kit around and asks whether he plans to stay in his life. Kit reassures him that he intends to always be there for him. Later, Kit also receives support from his own son, leaving him feeling confident about his proposal plans. Sarah, meanwhile, is struggling with the growing pressure. She tracks down Gary and reveals that Todd has started asking questions. Gary urges her to shut down any suspicions immediately, clearly worried that their carefully guarded secret is beginning to unravel. After their conversation, Gary attempts to repair his strained relationship with Maria by buying her flowers. Although she agrees they need to talk, the moment is interrupted before they can properly discuss their problems. Trying once again to reconnect, Gary suggests a family evening at Speed Doll. Maria, however, is too overwhelmed by doubt and anxiety to engage. Unable to hide her distress, she rejects the idea and retreats upstairs, consumed by suspicion. All signs now point toward the explosive dinner party ahead, where viewers are finally expected to discover the truth about Sarah and Gary's mysterious connection and the secret that has left so many people demanding answers. Coronation Street is broadcast on ITV1 every weekday at 8:30 p.m. and is also available to watch on ITVX via streaming.